behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time once again. We're glad that you could join us today. And we got a great interview coming up in just a minute or two. But don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell right here. And you're always going to get the latest interviews whenever available. And feel free to use our comments section and check out one of the comments because we're going to have links to our caps and t-shirts. And go to facebook.com/PalmMashTV. And that's our official site. You can like the page, inboxes, comment, everything you see there. We'd love to hear from you there. And you can email us at palmmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And you can use that not just if you're a band or a solo artist who is wanting to be on our show, but if you're a fan, hey, just use that as well. We'd love to hear from you there. And also check out Palm Mash TV every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. On Roku channel Smile World TV. One of our episodes will be on there. And go to our official web address. That's www.1 then Mike then music, all one word, onemikemusic.net/PalmMashTV. And you can check that out. And all this will be recapped for you at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Newnan, Georgia, we have Hunter Flanagan. Very talented artist, as all our other artists that we've had on the show. And I think you're really going to like it, especially the song that he does at the end. So we'll get to that in just a second, but it's Click Jam time, so stay tuned for that ad right now.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
All right, everybody, it's time for interview time as promised, and with us from Newnan, Georgia, we have Hunter Flanagan. Thanks for joining us, Hunter.
Hi, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. Why don't we start by the obvious, because everyone has their own story, but so tell us a little bit about why you decided you wanted to be an artist. I'm sure it's a good story at that.
Alrighty, so when I was about 16 months old or so, I knew all the songs and dances to Wizard of Oz, so I was always like a performer. When I was 6 years old, I entered my first contest, and that really got me like into the bug of performing on the back of pickup trucks and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of just a little bit of a hobby, but when I was 11, I was 10, my brother had a brain injury, and he was in a coma for 29 days. They said he'd never walk or talk again. And when he was going through rehab, I actually sang to him, to try to bring him out of the coma. I sang some of his favorite songs to him and things like that. And he actually made a full recovery. He's completely fine now. He went back to work. He finished college, all of that. And after that, I kind of started to realize that life is short, so there's no sense in not doing what I love. Mm-hmm. And my family's been nothing but supportive and helped me all across the way. Like we were talking about before we actually started recording, without like my mom and my grandmother, I wouldn't be where I am. But that's a vague outline of how I got started.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite a story too. And I hope that you'll be around for a long, long time making people happy with your music. So, and that's what's important too. So, growing up, what were some of your mainstream influences? Like the popular bands and stuff. Did you have a few that you had in mind?
Yeah, it was such a weird experience because my mom and like grandmother would listen to like 80s hair bands and like glam rock, like things like Queen and like Elton John. And my brother and that side of my family would listen to a lot of country and a lot of, Tim McGraw, Garth Brooks, that kind of thing. But then when I started becoming my own as an artist and, learning about my own musical tastes, I really stuck to a lot of the kind of glam rock, but a lot of my influences actually stem from bluegrass as well. So people like Old Crow Medicine Show, Balsam Range, people like that. So I'm a little bit of a mixed bag.
Okay, well, it's always good to have a lot of different genres, behind your music too, because that's what Home Match TV does. There's probably not a genre we don't do. But that is kind of a wide range of artists that you do listen to. Um, and some of them are legends, obviously, in their own right. Well, why don't you tell the people exactly how they can find your music? I mean, I'm sure it's all streaming, and I know you probably don't have physical copies, but if you do, you can let us know that as well.
Yeah, sure. So if you want to find me, I'm going to do the same little blurb I end my shows with, which is I'm Hunter Flanagan, Flanagan. There's a lot of A's, a lot of N's, no I's. Put an I in my name, you might find a Hunter. He might be able to sing, but it ain't going to help me because it isn't going to be me. I've got a website, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Just type in the name. The website is The Hunter Flanagan, THE. And I've got Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, all that stuff. I just released my first single, World's Going to Hell, about 2020, this lovely year of ours. And I think on Spotify, it just hit 95,000 streams or something like that.
Wow.
So I'm super excited about that. I thought it would go nowhere.
Okay, well, everybody get out there, those streaming platforms, and download Hunter's music. I know he'd appreciate that. Love that a lot. And speaking of that, you just mentioned the song World's Going to Hell, I think you said. And I think that is the music video we're going to show you, everybody out there. Why don't you tell us a little bit? And I'm sure it's self-explanatory, but I'm sure there's a story behind that. Maybe you could talk about that.
Yeah, I actually hadn't really thought about releasing any of my music that I had written. I kind of thought it would come in time. I would save up and then just do a whole album. But after 2020 happened, and I turned on the news one morning to check the weather of all things, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I shut the TV off and I wrote that song in like 10, 20 minutes. And within like a week or two, I was trying to, in the middle of lockdown, was trying to get in contact with the studio to social distance, but still get my song recorded because I really thought that it was a time-sensitive song that needed to be heard like during this year. Because it's really important to me, and it really encapsulates how I think everybody feels by now.
Okay, well, it is a great song, and I know everybody will agree with you once they actually see the video, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But before we do that, we want to thank you, Hunter, for coming on the show. We enjoyed having you. We'd love to have you back sometime if you got anything new to plug for us in the future.
Totally, anytime. Just give me a call.
Okay. All right, so here's Hunter with World's Going to Hell right here on Palm Mash TV, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
I turned on the news this morning, same way my day always starts off. I saw pandemics, protests, and political war, and safe to say I turned my TV off. It's probably too late to change it, so pour me another glass. I used to be an optimist, well, all that's in the past. I don't know how you're doing, but me, I'm doing fine. World's going to hell, and so am I. Hi, how are you? It's probably too late to change it, so pour me another glass. I used to be an optimist, well, all that's in the past. I don't know how you're doing, but me, I'm doing fine. World's going to hell, and so am I. World's going to hell.